All right, that is a pretty good shot. I'll give you on this one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I do like that I have a little bit of a more sultry voice. Like I figured like I could actually give a description today.
It's soulful.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Sun rising up today to greet you on this Monday morning.
Yeah.
Nope, we're not going to do
Well,
that.
that's the good thing about daylight savings is you get more. You
do.
get more sunrise.
Also less sleep and more
And
colds.
yeah, it gets you.
Hello, everyone. This is Digital Trends Live. This is our daily show here from Digital Trends where we bring you the trending tech topics of the day, all kinds of interviews, and lots more, all while broadcasting live across our many different platforms. Thank you to everybody who's joining us on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn. All of these we are broadcasting live on, taking your comments and questions. So please drop those in there as we go throughout the show. And we have got a packed show for you today. Let's run down the lineup of what we've got this morning. Number one, coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to be joined by Tom Szaky, who is the CEO and founder of both companies, one called TerraCycle, one called Loop. And they're rethinking about how we package things in this modern era, how we can recycle, how we can reuse things. Really fascinating stuff. We're going to be talking to him about that. We've got Pavi Dinamani, who is down at South by Southwest for Digital Trends to talk to David Benzaquen from Ocean Hugger Foods. Now, they have invented basically a sashimi replacement that's tomato-based. It looks amazing. So we're going to be talking to them about that and just kind of food technology in general. Then we've got Julian Chokkattu over at our New York City studio where we're going to be going back and forth, taking a look at all of those new Samsung devices that are officially out. You can buy them now. He's got all of them, all of the S10s. He's got the Galaxy Buds. He's got the Galaxy Watch all on hand. We'll walk through the features that he likes the most, and we'll take your questions and comments for that as well. I'm Greg Nibbler here in Portland, Oregon, joined now by Ryan Juanita. Hello, Ryan.
Hey.
How's it going?
Great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. It's your first time co-hosting.
That's true.
The morning show.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought I was banned.
Nope. Well, the ban was lifted. There was a blacklist situation.
There was a blacklist.
No, I'm just happy that Ryan's in here. This is awesome. So
great to be here.
I'm excited for you for our Read 'em and Weep segment, which is coming up.
Oh, man.
I really want to see your responses
Yes,
to that.
I want to see my responses to that too.
Before we get to that segment, though, let's talk about some news.
Let's do that.
Every day we kind of take a look at what's trending, what people are talking about the most. And right now, looks like this is kind of one of the leading stories. It has to do with Tesla. And the thing is, we just talked about this, I believe, last week. And they've completely reversed what they were saying before. So last week, they pretty much claimed that they were going to close almost all of their actual physical locations, minus a couple of key ones like in LA or New York, like major places. But other than that, they were going to close almost all of them. And they were going to be dropping the price since they were closing those stores, they could drop the price of the Tesla Model 3 by 6%. So kind of a bunch of savings, but also closing those stores. And when we talked about this last week, I kind of brought it up. I'm like, I don't know if I would want to buy a car strictly online, strictly digitally based. And so what they've come back and said today is that they're actually not going to close all of those stores. They're only going to close about 10%, it sounds like. And then the price decrease, though, went from 6% back up to 3%. So it's still decreasing a little bit, but it's raising up after what they said last week.
Yeah.
It seems a little discombobulated to me.
I mean, just think if Chevrolet would have said something like this. I mean, obviously they're much more, have a bigger footprint, but this is not a good look for a car company. They just lost in February their Consumer Reports recommendation for the Model 3 because of various reports of all kinds of issues with the car, including cracking windows and body wear and the screen freezing up, and then they make this huge announcement and then they pull it back. It's very all over the board, and it doesn't give you, as a shareholder or a buyer of Tesla vehicles, a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah.
It's a very strange thing, and Tesla likes to be in the news, but this is not how you want to be in the news if you're a car maker.
Right, we've seen this kind of reflected in some of their stock prices too, have kind of been all over the place.
Yeah.
The one thing, I guess, the big discussion that I want to bring up with this is, they want to go to this digitally based car buying model, which to me, that's still one of those products I want to test drive before I'm going to spend, $35,000 on a vehicle that I've never driven before. I'm just not going to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we were talking about it like maybe in 5 to 10 years when VR is really great
and
people are just not leaving the house anymore at all. We're just in like chairs just strapped in.
Right.
And maybe then you can look at a car. But I think, absolutely a $35,000 to $40,000 purchase, which most of us can't even make for a car in the first place. But if you are able to make that purchase, you probably want to be there to sit in the thing, maybe give it a drive, and not just listen to Elon Musk. His promise with a wink.
Yeah.
And Tesla, baby.
I'll ship it right out to you, man.
I don't buy jeans that way. I don't want to buy a car that way. Jeans have their own thing, but I don't know.
Now I'm picturing Elon doing that to everybody. Hey, we're good, baby.
Hey, come on, it's Tesla.
Trust me. I want to know, for everybody listening live or watching live, what do you think? Is this how you would buy a car? Would you be comfortable with this? Not test driving a car, just completely buying it online? Let us know what you think, because we're broadcasting on all these different platforms. I do want to know if that's something. Maybe we're just kind of the stalwarts here, and maybe people are comfortable with that.
We're not.
I don't think so.
And they're not. And that's why they pulled it back. And I think, it's just a bad look to keep making strange, big moves. Yeah. Tread lightly. Maybe just feel it out. Maybe shut a few plants down. Maybe not. Maybe keep your name out of the paper for a bit. The virtual paper, as it were. I think Elon needs to just chill it out a little bit. Maybe do some boring stuff, literally, or some SpaceX, and just kind of let Tesla do its thing for a while, because
just roll off of that.
I think everybody just needs to relax over there.
Yeah, he also has, this whole SEC issue, which is coming up, which he's trying to appeal.
And they have a new car coming out.
They do.
So it's just, I know they want news in that regard, but they need to stop doing stuff like this.
Well, we'll see what happens with it. So let us know what you think in the comments and questions there. You can do this online right now as we're broadcasting live, or at digitaltrends.com. All right, we need to go on to our next segment, which is Read 'em and Weep. And this is the segment where we take a look at some comments and questions that have come out across the board for Digital Trends. We post in a lot of places, and we get a lot of comments. And we do read all of the comments, but we don't always respond to every single one of them. This is an opportunity where we take a look at some of them that Jake has pulled, and we see these live on the air. I have not seen these ahead of time.
All right.
You have not seen these ahead of time. We will actually see what these comments are as we go through. So let's get the first one. Frank, regarding the inventor of lithium-ion batteries, develops safer, more efficient glass battery. Safer and more efficient are terms that are frowned upon in the business community of America. Ryan, how do you feel about this?
I don't know what that means. I think, more efficient is probably frowned upon, I guess, because
generally speaking.
Batteries, I talk about batteries all the time. They're the most boring thing to talk about, but they're like the most important thing.
They are, for everything.
If every new smartphone could have triple battery life, it wouldn't have to have any cool new features.
No,
but
just like
they just can't seem to figure out batteries. But more efficient, no. Safer, probably. Okay. I think people would like safer because they blow up sometimes. Yeah. We don't want that.
Well, that's true. We don't need that, so less blowing up. That's definitely something we all want in that. All right, thank you, Frank. That was on a Facebook article that we posted there as we're going through our Read 'em and Weep segment, Army of War. Wow, that's quite the name. Regarding Nike Adapt BB unboxing, Nike's self-lacing hoops shoes. Who really ties their shoes anyway? Just tie it right the first time and then slip your feet right in. Am I the only one who does this? I'm not sure that's how shoe tying works.
That's what my wife does, but she has very small feet. And I find that I can't get the foot in there without stretching the hell out of the shoe.
Right. No, you got to retie it sometimes. I mean, Army of War clearly is more advanced than we are. Yeah. Has figured this.
He has very small feet. He or she has very small feet.
Very tiny feet. That's the only way you can do this.
That's how that works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, otherwise, I tried on the self-lacing shoes. I kind of liked them.
Yeah, I love that idea.
It was pretty nice. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If you want to slip them on, this is the way to go. You don't have to tie them. That's the thing.
Just best of both worlds, baby.
Press a button. Knock a self-lacing shoes, baby.
It's back to the future.
There
Who
it
doesn't
is.
want them back to the
future? It all is. All right. So I think you should actually try those on. Although they're very expensive right now. So I think we need the price to go down on those ones.
Yeah, it's trickle down.
Exactly.
I want my shoes in about 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years out.
I'm always looking 5 years ahead. Like, maybe in 5 years it'll be okay.
All right, let's go to Wendy Hutchison, writing New Frontier. Tiny homes have garage doors and luxury living in 240 square feet. Tiny homes, like container homes, started out as low-cost alternatives. The price tag these days is obscene. I'm not sure what the price tag is on these.
I don't know. We passed a container home maker not too long ago, and they're interesting. I can't do tiny home. I'm not Marie Kondo'd up enough to do that deal. Also, I hate like small kitchens and you just bump into each other the whole time. Get out of my kitchen.
Yeah.
We had a galley kitchen for a long time, and that was as close as I can get to a tiny home. I'm not good enough to live in a tiny home.
Well, and if the price is about the same as what a normal one is, then I don't see the difference.
I would not think that could be possible.
I don't know, but I'd have to read this article. I mean, that's the thing. We have so many different articles up at Digital Trends. We haven't read them all either.
Well, we have noticed though, like skinny homes are a big thing in Portland now because we had a home, a housing crisis, and if you tear down one house, you're able to build two on top of it. And so they're tearing down all these homes. There's like signs everywhere, stop the demolition of Portland homes. And those skinny homes pop up, and you think they're going to be cheaper because they don't have a yard and it's like really tiny. They're extremely expensive.
Yeah, people are buying them.
I mean, because it's a new home, everything's new. I wouldn't be surprised if tiny homes are pricey, but hopefully they're not as much as a regular size house.
According to Wendy, they are obscene.
All
caps.
I can see that.
Wendy, thank you very much for your comment there as we're going through our Read and Weep segment. Okay, fly projector. Riding this bike lets you ride and run at the same time. This is the most stupid thing I've ever seen in my 50 years alive. Wow. I mean, in a way, I feel like accomplished.
Yeah.
You've done something that this is the stupidest thing you have ever seen in 50 years. I mean,
it's pretty good.
I think you've lived a pretty good life.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
He has been among the intellectual elite in that bubble.
Absolutely.
For a very long time.
I love how we just ascribed that this has got to be a guy, too.
Or she.
This is clear. This is a guy. Let's be honest here.
I don't know.
This is the most stupid thing I have ever seen.
It sounds a little hyperbolic, but it's hard to say. It does.
And coming from somebody named Fly Projector, I think the stupidest thing may be the little cat emoji in your name. That's just throwing that in there. It's a little bit harsh, but I mean, come on. If you're going to proclaim something,
is that cat, coffee, and music?
Cat, coffee, music.
That's
a book.
That's all you need.
The last one was.
Yeah, I can't tell.
There's a mystery in there. It's an enigma. All right. Thank you, Fly Projector. I think we've got one or two more here. We've got one more here. So, all right, from Dean, regarding Samsung's 85-inch 8K QLED arrives this year and costs less than you'd expect. By the time that 8K is relevant in a few years, the cost will be half of that, what it is now, who has 15K.
Saudi Arabian princes, Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, those types of people
that are going to pay 15K for an 8K television.
Yes.
I mean,
that's who has it.
That's pretty on point. I mean, there's not really much of a need to get
lawyers,
8K television
really
right
good
now.
Lawyers.
So yeah, Dean, actually, you're kind of right.
It's the same thing. It's trickle-down technology. That's we love those first adopters so that we can get an 8K TV in, again, 5 to 10 years. This is really a theme today. But yeah, that's really how it works.
Well, that's the same with a lot of tech. When you have this cutting-edge stuff come out, it's going to take a little while before.
That's why you gotta you gotta love those rich people that are taking that hit for us,
right?
So that we can buy it later. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
And it's usually worse technology when it's first out too, so we appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Well, taking a look here, we do have these comments coming through. I did want to go back to one, Simone, regarding our first one. She said, I would buy a Tesla sight unseen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of people wanted them. A lot of people signed up for them sight unseen for, a year or longer for that waiting list. So.
Right. Yeah, so I mean the numbers are there, so maybe it's right. Maybe we are the ones who just want to.
I think that if they want a broader audience,
that
they're going to need people to be able to see the cars. But yeah, some people will buy them.
All right, we need to get through a couple more topics here before we're going to be taking a break here in a minute, and we're going to be talking to TerraCycle about their new products. Let's go to the March Apple event. In case you didn't know, Apple is having a big event on March 25th, and there are some rumors coming out about some things they're going to announce. There is the whole Apple streaming television thing, but we will talk about that. That's kind of a whole other beast. So we don't really know exactly what's happening with that, whether they're going to or not. But there are hardware rumors. So I wanted to hit just a couple of the hardware rumors. And one of the big ones that's trending today has to do with a new iPad. And it does seem like they're going to launch a new iPad. The rumors are a new iPad mini, and a new iPod, actually, and air-powered charging mat, and updated versions of the AirPods. But let's talk about the iPad itself. One key thing that it sounds like they may bring back is the headphone jack. Putting a headphone jack back.
Did iPads not have a headphone jack?
The iPad Pro models that came out in October got rid of them.
Yeah.
And now it sounds like they're like, yeah, okay, we'll put it back in there.
Well, that is something.
So as an audio
Yeah.
person, you review almost all of our audio here. How do you feel about this?
Well, yeah, and I just wrote this sort of scathing rant about how the S10 is better than the iPhone because they give you more features. They give you the headphone jack, and they give you Galaxy Buds. At pre-order anyway, they were giving away Galaxy Buds with the phone that charge on the phone. I think now you actually have to buy them separately, so that's not as good of a deal. But still, they give you the best of both worlds. And I kind of was giving Apple a lot of crap for, excuse me, the features that they take away.
Yeah.
Because if I would rather have the old features married with the new than just like cutting features. So this is a real about face that we don't see very often from Apple. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it because they are launching also, as it sounds like the AirPower charging mat, whatever they're going to call it. Yeah, AirPower. So to go along with that too, I'm seeing Keelan's comment. Watch the new iPad not have a headphone jack. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the new iPod.
The new iPod. Yeah, I mean that is actually a good point. Like, what are they going to do? What's the standard going forward? Like, when does it all get phased out?
I don't know. And if they're going back with the iPad, is it possible that they could go back and put a jack back in the iPhone? That would be crazy. Yeah. That would be a real about face. But
that would be a really weird one, yeah, as far as if they would or not.
I don't think they're going to do it.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, that is one of the things. So just talking about the different rumors for this new Apple event. And, March 25th is when the schedule is for this event. There's some people saying that maybe they'll release the hardware before that, and then the event would just be for the streaming service. But it's Apple, so it's really hard to 100% nail this down.
Well, and if we even see the streaming service, it's not going to be out yet. Where they're just going to give us like maybe a demo.
Yeah, and then that's it. Then maybe sometime, maybe later on this year, possibly we'll get the Apple streaming television service.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and we have a lot of articles about this at Digital Trends too. You can go down that rabbit hole quite a ways, but we'll find out more. I'm sure as we get closer to the event, we'll find out some more along these lines.
And we may see the new AirPods. We think we
think there'll be new AirPods. Yeah, as well. So.
It's always hard to tell with an Apple event because usually there's you get really excited and they give you almost nothing. Or they give you two things and they don't give you three that you thought were coming, or sometimes they surprise you, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, they're pretty secretive about it, so we'll find out. Definitely, they've kept it under wraps a little better than Samsung did.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about Samsung's products later on in the show. All right, let's get one more headline story here before we take a break, and then we get ready for our next interview. And this has to do with Google. So we know Google has plans to launch their own game console and service. So it's tentatively called, I want to make sure I get this right, Project Yeti. And again, I apologize, my voice, I'm going through a bit of a cold here, so if I struggle a couple of times, that's what's going on with that. But it's rumored to be possibly revealed on March 19th, even this soon. But what we have right here are some renderings of what the controller may look like. This is based on a patent that Google has filed, so this is public information. Showcasing that they've already got a controller designed for this thing. It looks very similar to a PlayStation controller, to be honest.
It really does, yeah.
Or Xbox.
There's only so much you can do with these kind of controllers.
That's the thing. When are we going to get a redesign of the controller itself?
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of waiting for to see how that would work. Maybe we'll have to wait until VR is involved in it. So an actual Google console gaming system. Is this something that you would, you play, PlayStation 4?
I have a PS4.
PS4, yeah.
I bought it for $100.
Yeah.
And that's a casual gamer.
Right.
That's as much as I can do right now.
But that's super cheap, though.
Yeah, I bought it used, and so I may jump up to the next console eventually, but I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
You're not going to be trying out this one.
Yeah, probably not.
Part of this, so it would also be for streaming. So you'd just be streaming these games.
I mean, we think the next Xbox may just be a streaming-only Xbox too. So this is where it's going. So
yeah, we're getting rid of the discs, just downloading.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if it's just downloading. If you're streaming it directly online, you need a very, very good internet connection. But if you're downloading all of this stuff, you also need some really big hard drives.
But
these games are bigger and bigger.
And these days, though, you get a disc and you still have to download like 80 or 90 gigs.
Yeah.
So
when I got Red Dead, it was another 3 hours of downloading.
I know.
Before
it's like, why do I have this disc?
Yeah.
When I have to download 90 gigs.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll be.
I think that's where it's all going.
I just don't know if there's room for another. If there's room for another service, or if somebody would say like, you know what? Yeah, I want to go with Google Stream or Google Yeti, whatever they end up calling it, and that's what I would want to go with. Like, are gamers excited about this? That's and for those of you watching,
I think if you're a gamer at this point, PC is the easiest way to stay.
Right.
I mean, consoles are sort of going away. But I guess if there's something that you can stream easily, easily download games,
yeah,
that's definitely appealing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where it goes from there, but that's one of the rumors. So again, we may find out that coming up soon too. So a lot of rumors, a lot of patents that we're talking about, but all of that is exciting stuff, and we discuss that here at Digital Trends. You can read more about all those at digitaltrends.com. And we need to get ready to go to a break. Ryan, thank you for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This was fun. We've got our next guest, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be coming back with Tom Szaky, who is the CEO of TerraCycle and Loop. And I've got even some of their product here. We're going to take a look at this, about rethinking the ways that we recycle and how to make things more sustainable. So we'll have him on to explain that, all while broadcasting live. Drop in your comments and questions back here in a minute with more Digital Trends Live. Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. Thank you everyone for joining us today, wherever you're finding us. We really do appreciate it. We start live at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, every weekday, bringing you tech headlines and interviews, and we have one of those interviews for you right now. One of the things we love here at Digital Trends is rethinking technology, rethinking things that we're used to and finding new and better ways to live our lives and actually help the environment as well with this next interview. So right now we're going to be joined by Tom Szaky. Hello, Tom. You are the CEO of TerraCycle and Loop, what I have right here. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us. I got to ask, where are you at right now?
So I'm in our global headquarters in Trenton, New Jersey. We do operate in 21 countries around the world, but everything from Trenton is where we centrally operate.
Nice. Well, I love the logo and the backdrop there. That is, it looks great. Well, let's talk about this from the beginning. Let's maybe explain to everybody watching what TerraCycle is and how that company came about and what it is that you do.
So TerraCycle's been around for 16 years now, operating in 21 countries, mostly developed markets. And what we do is we are a social business whose purpose is to eliminate the idea of waste. We do that in a number of ways. Loop is actually our third business unit. So our first one asks the question, is that object recyclable? And if the answer is no, everything from your cigarette butt to dirty diaper to, the toothbrush or cosmetic package, we make it nationally recyclable by creating national platforms to collect and recycle those waste streams. Our second major division is about integrating waste back into consumer products like ocean plastic, into Head & Shoulders bottles or Fairy dish soap bottles, and many other such examples. And Loop came about actually 3 years ago, is when we started thinking about it. And then we launched it at the World Economic Forum in Davos just last month. And Loop is about how do we solve waste at the root cause? Because we realized that while recycling is really important, and making things from recycled material is really important, it's only dealing with waste at the symptom level, but isn't going to solve it at the root cause on why does garbage exist, which we think is all about disposability.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's rethinking that whole idea because, I feel like recycling has been something we've all been thinking about for a long time, but now it's just eliminating perhaps that even the issue itself and going with something like this. Let's talk about just for some numbers to understand how much is wasted every day when it comes to products like that.
Oh, wow. So, garbage is a massive issue. If we think about it for, wealthy markets, it's about 4.5 pounds of waste per person per day. And the key is to think about where does this go? 2% is globally recycled, 25% is in the oceans, And then the balance, about 3/4, is either burned or buried. So it's relatively unsophisticated solutions and potentially very harmful ones.
Yeah, it sounds like it, especially burning. I mean, all of those are terrible solutions, it seems like. So with Loop, you decided to rethink this, and you're talking about it, and I can actually open this up here and showcase some of the things that you're talking about. So we have one of these right here. Let's explain what this system is and how it works for people.
So the basic essence of Loop is to be an engine for consumer product companies to create durable versions of their products. Imagine your Haagen-Dazs ice cream now not coming in a coated paper, but instead double wall stainless steel, beautiful, durable packaging, or your Tide laundry detergent and also equally amazing packaging. So it's all these producers reinventing their products, and then retailers embed the Loop platform into their e-commerce and physical store environment. So you can buy Loop, through major retailers' shelves or even digitally. And the key here is one pivotal shift that solves everything, which is you don't own the packaging. Instead, you simply borrow it as a consumer. And this is very important because today we buy a huge amount of disposable packaging, whether it's our chip bags or our cup of coffee. And strangely, I don't think we really want to own this package in the end. After we use it, it's sort of a problem. So here, the manufacturer maintains ownership of the package. And by doing so, it moves the package to be an asset and allows them to make it long-lasting and durable.
So somebody would say order online, order their groceries, order whatever it is. It would come in a box like this Loop packaging. Looks like this is probably, it's a cooler material, kind of, I would say.
That's right. So even the box, instead of corrugate and bubble wrap, comes in the type of container you see. Some of those will be customized to different retailers. That's our first version. That's going live this May in the northeast of the US and Europe. And that is what you receive it in. So there's no bubble wrap, no disposable parts. And then inside, you would see beautiful, durable containers. And what's really neat about that type of structure, so you can see some examples in there, I believe, products that we may have sent you. And so that, for example, is your new Crest mouthwash. So instead of it coming in a plastic bottle, it comes in that beautiful glass container, and so on. All your products now, again, of major brands have been reinvented. And this is the key: when that package is empty, you don't have to clean it. You just throw it back into the Loop container. That's the new, say, Clorox disinfectant white package. And when these are all empty, you just throw them back in the Loop box. That becomes your waste bin. We pick that up from you. And then what's really cool is you can set the product to be, don't refill me when returned, which means that when we get your empty in any shape, we return your deposit. And if you set it to be refill me when returned, the empty package triggers the order of your next package. So it's perfectly timed based on your actual consumption versus, say, a box every month.
And how far out are we from implementing this? You said in the Northeast, they're already going to be having some of these out?
Absolutely. So that's, you're holding the new shampoo bottle there.
Yep.
That's pure aluminum, for example. And this is the
Pantene.
Loop, is that it's not just about reuse, but it's also about beautiful design. So launching, it goes live in Paris on May 14 with Carrefour, the biggest retailer in France. Then in the US on May 21st, and it'll be with a incredibly large retailer we're announcing in May, servicing all in New York, Pennsylvania, Jersey. Then in September in London and the greater London area with Tesco, again, a large retailer there. And in 2020, it will be expansion across all of the United States, so that by likely 2021, it's national in every state.
So what kind of retailers are you working with, or as far as manufacturers? Because I'm seeing definitely some major brands, but I imagine that takes a lot for them to switch over what they're doing to even package in something like this. What are some of the challenges with that?
Yeah, absolutely right. And, we've been blessed that we're working with almost every major manufacturer and equally large retailers. And so what the manufacturers have to do, because that's where it really begins, is they have to enable durable versions of their supply chains, which means new packaging has to be created, but also the back end, like the actual factories that fill these packages, which have to be brand new as well. And those are meaningful 6 or 7 figure commitments on per package. Then the retailers have the next commitment, which is impregnating the Loop engine into their digital interface as well as their physical stores. And there, the key difference is being able to manage the deposits and being able to add that financial capability. So that's the investment they have to do. But the amazing part is both the manufacturers and the retailers are taking this seriously, because garbage is a major crisis. They want to look at solutions, and for them, Loop is not just about solving for the idea of waste, really at a foundational level, but also elevating design and function, really bringing about, what I would say is the future of how we consume products.
A couple of questions coming through that I'm seeing since we're broadcasting live. Justin asks, would the cleaning be handled by the companies or by the individual?
So this is very important. Why we love disposability as individuals is because it's convenient and affordable. So the cleaning, you don't have to clean anything at home. You throw it back in proudly and dirty, back into that Loop bin, and Loop does all of the cleaning and then sends it back to the manufacturers who do the refilling. And equally so, because you don't own the package in the end, the products can come to you in these beautiful containers at the same price as what you buy them in disposable containers.
That's actually what my next question was. So price-wise for the consumer, this isn't going to change anything.
No, to be very fair to the question and very transparent, if you take any package in front of you, say the Pantene shampoo, the shampoo will come at about the same price as normally in a store. The only difference is you have to pay a deposit equal to the value of the package, because those are valuable packages. And here's the key, you get that deposit back in full, no matter what shape you return the package in, because we view that the creator of the pack should be responsible for what they created.
So say I get this and I ding it somehow or put a dent into it, that's not going to affect the deposit?
Nope, you get it back in full.
What kind of deposit are we talking about? Like just generally speaking, I'm sure that's, it's a broad question depending on the packaging, but say something like this, like if somebody wanted to get this, what do you think the deposit would be on something like that?
So in general consumables like food, home care, personal care, you would say as low as about 25 cents. That would be for like a Coca-Cola bottle, which is coming back in that original beautiful shape.
Okay.
If you look at something on the higher end, like the Clorox container in front of you, which is quite advanced, that I think would be about $10 as a deposit.
That makes sense. I mean, this is a very sturdy container, but like you said, you get it in full back if you return it.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
Where do you see the future of this going? Do we see more like consumable goods coming into something like this? Or, I mean, I see where we're at right now, definitely, cleaning products, and as far as toothpaste and mouthwash and shampoo, what other products are you looking to expand into?
Sure. So Loop is launching, when we launch in May, with about 400 products, and mostly in packaged food, from ice cream to orange juice, personal care like shampoo and face cream, all the way to home care, from wipes to laundry detergent. That's where we're beginning, because that is the root cause of waste. Most of the waste out there is from what you call fast-moving consumer goods. But we are already developing, which we hope to be testing next year, Loop for apparel. So think, the good way to look at what is the relevance of Loop is really three categories, where if three things have to be true on a product to be relevant for Loop. One is that you don't really want to own it in the end. Now that's intuitive for something like an ice cream container, but it's also true for, frankly, anything to do with babies, baby clothing, baby toys, are all things we don't want to own in the end. The second is where there is a big waste issue. And third is where there's an opportunity to tremendously improve design. So a good example of where Loop would not be appropriate would be, say, something like a fancy, Swiss watch, where design is already probably at the top. There isn't really a big waste issue, and you do want to own it in the end. But I would ask, how much of what we buy do we really want to own in the end? Or how much do we just want to have during our use?
Right, and I feel like we're all trying to get rid of extra stuff at this point now, so that's definitely a great idea. Let me ask this too, just before we wrap up. I know you're also the author of a book. I want to make sure I get it right, The Future of Packing. What can you tell everyone about that and what you cover in that book?
Absolutely. So Future of Packaging is the fourth book I've written on the topic of waste. And what's actually really exciting about the future of packaging is that it's not just my opinion. It's 15 experts in the industry, from the former head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Christine Whitman, and governor of New Jersey, to Paul Pullman, who is the former CEO of Unilever. So a lot of these amazing folks came together to write a book to think about, why does packaging have a problem? Where did this whole problem come from? And how do we solve it? Both as individuals, but also as people who may be able to design packaging and think about it a little differently.
The Future of Packaging. So pick up that book from Tom. Where can people go to find out more information about this and sign up for the service if it's available in their area?
Absolutely. So you would go to loopstore.com, and you can sign up anywhere in the world, and we'll let you know as soon as Loop is available in your area. Again, coming soon this year to the northeast of the US, Paris and London, but many other cities next year, including Toronto, Tokyo, and the rest of the United States.
Fantastic. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining us here today. This is really innovative. I look forward to trying this out actually when it comes into my area. So once you expand across the U.S., and very, very exciting stuff. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you, everybody, for watching live here with Digital Trends. So we are live every day, bringing you all kinds of interviews and topics and discussions, and we've got something exciting next. So we just went to Tom there at their headquarters in New Jersey. We're going to take a break, and then we're going live to South by Southwest. We're going live to South by Southwest in Austin with Pavi Dinamani, who's going to be joining us to talk about another innovative thing when it comes to food technology, and is a company that's come up with a tuna-less sashimi. So it's David Benzaquen from Ocean Hugger Foods and Plant-Based Solutions. So we're going to be talking to them. So let's take a break. We'll get it all set up. We'll be back with you here in a second with more Digital Trends Live. Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. Thank you, everyone, for joining us wherever you are finding us. We really do appreciate it. And we are live here every weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, bringing you all kinds of interviews. And the great thing about live is we can go on location. I'm Greg Nibbler here in Portland, Oregon, and all week long, we're going to have Pavi Dinamani down at South by Southwest in Austin, bringing you interviews. This is going to be every day this week. We'll have something different from her. And right now, we're going to go live to her in Austin, and we're going to be talking to David Benzaquen from Ocean Hugger Foods. So let's go ahead and head there right now. Drop in your comments. Here's Pavi at South by Southwest. Hello, Pavi.
Hi, this is Pavi Dinamani from South by Southwest 2019 I'm here with Digital Trends. I am going to be talking to David Benzaquen, the founder of Ocean Hugger Foods. We are here at 2019 South by Southwest. I can't believe this is actually happening. Everyone knows all of innovation in one place is happening at South by. So he is here because he's going to talk about his new product, Ahimi, and he's changing the face of food. We talk a lot about the future of food at Digital Trends, and one of the things we're doing here is talking about how you are doing the future of food engineering. So tell us what Ocean Hugger Foods is and about Ahimi.
Sure. So Ocean Hugger Foods is a company that aims to make delicious plant-based seafood alternatives that address the ocean's crisis with biodiversity and sustainability while not making people sacrifice. It was founded a couple years ago by my co-founder, certified master chef James Corwell. He was teaching in Japan, and he visited a place called the Tsukiji Fish Market. It's the largest fish market in the world, and every single day they auction off 4 million pounds of endangered tuna, and he knew he had to do something about it. So he dedicated the last few years of his life to making delicious, plant-based, sustainable alternatives that protect those culinary creations while also protecting our oceans.
Very cool. So what is Ahimi? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Ahimi is our flagship product. It stands for the spirit of ahi, or the spirit of tuna, and it's made from tomatoes. We have a special process that eliminates the flavor of the tomato so that acidity is gone, and it texturizes it so you have that meaty, fatty, chewy, delicious texture of raw tuna. And then we add some seasoning on top. It's super clean label, and it's delicious.
Nice. So that means it's completely plant-based. We're not doing any lab-tested animal cell growth, any of that, right?
That's right. It's completely plant-based. It's made with only 5 ingredients: tomatoes, water, non-GMO, gluten-free soy sauce, sesame oil, and a little sugar. And it's super clean, but our process allows us to create that texture.
Okay, so is this already in the market, or is it something that we have to look forward to?
Yeah, so we launched in November 2017 in Whole Foods stores. We're in about 80 stores nationwide with Whole Foods and hundreds of other restaurants across the country and in Canada. And you can find it on our website near you at our menu locator at oceanhuggerfoods.com.
Nice. So one of the things that I know that we talked a little bit ahead of time, and it's for people who've eaten tuna, and for them it's like, this is so similar. I saw your interview on with NPR. I saw a review that it's so close to the real taste. I'm a vegetarian. I've never actually eaten tuna. Have you dealt with people who have and haven't eaten, and what their reactions are?
Absolutely. So most of the people who enjoy our product are not vegetarians, and that's really where we want to be. We want to make an impact by helping folks for whom tuna is getting too expensive, they're concerned about the mercury, or they don't want to contribute to biodiversity loss.
Right.
We're helping them enjoy their favorite foods without sacrifice.
Very cool. And since you're at Whole Foods, is it something that I can buy, or do I have to, is it already prepared, or something I can prepare at home?
Yeah, so we sell Ahimi as an ingredient to food service operators, so restaurants, caterers, and in Whole Foods at the sushi kiosk, where they make it into nigiri and sushi rolls, and some of them also use it in poke bowls.
I am very excited. I've never had this opportunity, so this is big for me. I'm going to Whole Foods. But one more question I had to ask around the actual product. Do you think restaurants will be adding this is this in your 2019 goals?
Absolutely. So we're in hundreds of restaurants throughout the U.S. and Canada, and we do a ton of business in private, college, and corporate cafeterias with companies like Sodexo, Aramark, and Compass Group, and that's where we can reach, students and professionals across the country.
Okay. Why did you get into seafood, though? Because I know you have a background in plant-based solutions and studies and things like that. Why seafood?
So what I love about plant-based foods is that without any struggle, somebody can make simple choices every single time they sit down to eat to impact their health, the environment, and animal welfare. And I think that's so powerful. So when I see all the incredible trends in plant-based poultry and beef and dairy, nobody was working on fish, and somebody had to do something. It's a huge crisis in our oceans, and we're looking to tackle it.
Nice. Yes, climate change is real. This is a problem. What else are you going to look to do in the seafood industry? What beyond tuna can we expect from you?
So we're very excited that in just a couple months we'll be launching our eggplant-based unagi, or freshwater eel.
Yes.
Incredible product. And unagi are extremely endangered. They are actually unable to reproduce in farms, and so they harvest them from the wild before reproductive age, and then they put them in farms where they can't breed, and so they're taking the last generations and destroying them. It's really sad.
Yeah.
We want to do something about it.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great cause. What about even with that? Is that also purely plant-based with the unagi?
So all of our products are 100% plant-based, and going forward, all of our products will be 100% gluten-free as well. They're always non-GMO and kosher certified as well.
Very cool. What's 2019 look like for Ocean Hugger Foods?
Yeah, so we'll be expanding even further throughout the U.S. and Canada, and we're going to start launching in Western Europe, and we're very excited for that.
All right. Right now? Okay. Is that what you said? Okay, good. Okay, I was like, what is happening? Okay, final question for you. Where can people find more information? I feel like people need to be educated about this, right? This is not just, I've created this product, it's something fun, and it's, of course, interesting, but I don't want it to just end there. Where can people learn about Ocean Hugger Foods and just plant-based in general?
Sure. So we'd love for people to check it out at our website, oceanhuggerfoods.com. We're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay. Excellent. Actually, that's not my last question. I had one more question. Do you ever think you will sell to homes?
So the reason we chose to sell into restaurants is because most consumers in the U.S. are not making raw fish dishes at home. And so to teach people how to make sushi or poke from scratch and to encourage them to make it plant-based would be a big educational effort. We know that 96% of sushi and other raw fish dishes are purchased outside the home as finished goods, and so we're selling where it's consumed. But as awareness grows, or as we launch future products that are more used at home, we'd love to do that.
Great. And then even with the food, and I'm just intrigued because you said that you teamed up with a chef. What kind of, are you working with food labs, or how are you actually what's the engineering behind the food? Who designs those?
Sure. So our chef is amazing. He was a runner-up in the Bocuse d'Or, Best New Chef New Orleans and Best New Restaurant New Orleans, and one of only 68 certified master chefs in the world. And he spent 5 years developing this entirely mechanical, chemical-free process to do this. And so he's an extraordinary chef, and he was able to do this, and the process works identically for all the vegetables we use. So it's a trade secret that I can't share the exact process, but it's super exciting, and the impacts are amazing.
Excellent. Anything else you would like to, tell our viewers where they can find more information or any sort of knowledge you'd want to give them? This is your time. Plug your website.
Sure. So again, we're at oceanhuggerfoods.com or in just about any social network you can think of. We'd love for you to check it out, and we really appreciate your trying the product and making a difference.
Perfect. Thank you so much, David. This has been a pleasure. I'm very proud of your success and what you're doing. This is great work, and the world needs it right now. Well, thank you so much for watching. This is Pavi Dinamani for Digital Trends from South by Southwest 2019, and back to the studio.
All right. Thank you, Pavi. So again, Pavi's going to be down there at South by Southwest every day this week, bringing us a different interview, checking out all the amazing things that are happening down there. And we also, huge thank you to David. I definitely want to try out that product, so I'm excited to try some things from Ocean Hugger Foods. So right now, we're going to take another break, and then we're going to be heading to New York. We're going to be joined by Julian Chokkattu to talk about Samsung phones. So he's got all of the new Samsung phones with him. He's got the Galaxy Watch, he's got the Galaxy Buds. We're going to be going over all of those. So if you have questions about those, drop those into the chat right now so I can make sure to ask him, because we're going to be going live back and forth. All right, so let's take a quick break. Back here in a second with more Digital Trends Live. Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. Thank you, everyone, joining us right now, wherever you're watching. I'm Greg Nibbler here in Portland, Oregon, and for this next segment, we're going to be also talking to our New York studio, where we have Julian Chokkattu, who is there with all of the brand new Samsung phones that actually just came out on Friday. He's physically got them all in front of him. We're going to walk through some of those new products, and so if you have comments and questions for him about them, go ahead and drop those in there. Let's see if we can go live to him right now. Hello, Julian. Are you on the line over there?
Hey, Greg, can you hear me?
I can hear you. There we go. Now I can see you as well.
Cool.
Awesome. Well,
Great.
Julian, thanks for doing this. So you've been able to have some hands-on time with all of these. We've got the reviews up online right now, but I thought maybe we'd just walk through these products. Maybe let's talk about the phones first with all three of these phones, maybe some of the key differences between all three of them and what your impressions are.
Sure. So yeah, just to sort of line them up here. This is the Galaxy S10 plus S10 next to it, and this is the Galaxy S10e. So that's the first time, I guess, we have on DT Live all three phones on display right next to each other. The phones all came out on Friday, March 8th, And overall, impressions have been pretty positive. The Galaxy S10 Plus, our review went up not too long ago. We call it, at the moment, the best phone that you can buy at the moment. So if you're looking for the best all-in-one phone, you want a giant screen, you want all the features you could sort of theoretically have in a phone, this is definitely the phone you want to buy. But it is $1,000, so that's sort of the big barrier of entry to buying this phone. But keep in mind, the iPhone XS is $1,000. The iPhone XS Max is $1,100. So really, this is matching what you'd expect with any other flagship smartphone. It's just still, who wants to pay $1,000? If you don't have to, you can get the Galaxy S10, which is the smaller one, which costs $900. So this one we haven't spent too much time with, but it is the first time that Samsung has brought the same features between both the Plus and the smaller model. Usually the smaller model lacks that extra camera or something like that. So that's the first time that we're getting that kind of feature parity. The differences between the S10 Plus and the S10, other than size, is that basically there's a vapor chamber cooling system in the S10 Plus that should keep the phone a little more cool the longer you game. Apart from that, there's not too much really that's different. All the other features are the same. You're getting the same triple camera setup on the back. And yeah, that's about it. Of course, smaller battery too, so that's something that we're going to test on the S10, the smaller one. We love the battery on the S10 Plus, basically a definite full day of use if you're using it a lot. So definitely if you're a light user, that'll go for at least 2 days. This is definitely going to have a smaller battery, so we'll have to see if that kind of will sort of hold up in similarly or not. But I have been testing the Galaxy S10e a little bit over the past few days, and I think the best thing to say about this one is the size. While the S10 Plus gives you that big, beautiful screen, it's a 6.4-inch screen, whereas the S10e is a beautiful 5.7-inch screen. So you're getting this really compact size, and it fits so perfectly in my hand that's the one thing that I think I've been taking away, is that this is just so nice to hold. And if you're someone that keeps complaining about all the big screen phones that come out today, this might be the phone that you want to get, because it fits perfectly in your hand. You can easily reach all parts of the screen with your thumb, and the only downside that we're seeing so far is that battery life is not as great as the S10 Plus. It has a smaller battery. We basically have to charge it every day, and even then, you might not even get through a full hard day of use if you're using the phone a lot. So that's, I think, our biggest complaint with it. It still has 2 cameras, which is definitely more than like the Galaxy S9 from last year, but it does about $30 more. That's the S9 last year launched at $720. This is now $750. It is definitely the cheapest of the lot. This is $900 again, and $1,000 for the S10 Plus. So $750 is definitely a great price if you're looking for a high-end phone, but you don't want to obviously spend all that much. This still has many of the same bells and whistles. It does lack a ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, so there's nothing on the front. Instead, the fingerprint sensor is on the side of the phone, and that actually works out pretty well. It's perfectly placed where my thumb is, and pretty easy to unlock. So far, pretty good impressions about this phone. I'd say the S10e is for the person who doesn't care about having all the greatest features in their phone. They just don't want to spend too much, and $750 is about a reasonable amount that they'd be happy to pay for a phone.
I think that's
so that's just some quick.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'd like that idea.
Go ahead,
for
Greg.
the smaller phone. I just wanted to bring that up, just because it would fit in your hand. I kind of like the thumbprint, the sensor on the side.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it's not as cool or, something that you haven't seen before, like on the Galaxy S10, where it's like under the glass, and it's not as, eye-catching. It's still the same old sensor that you'd find on back of old Samsung phones, but putting it on the side definitely is something that, because, if you think about it, if I'm holding the phone like this, if they put the fingerprint sensor here, it'd actually be a little hard to reach considering the small design, whereas my thumb is naturally resting right there, which just then works totally for unlocking the phone that way. So, yeah, definitely a good idea, and definitely one of the better decisions that Samsung put on the S10e.
So let's talk about some of the other products. I know you have also the Galaxy Watch active there and the Galaxy Buds. So let's kind of walk through those ones as well.
Sure. So the Galaxy Watch, probably the least experience I've had yet so far, but I've been wearing it for about 2 days and pretty great early impressions, actually. Like, the battery life isn't as good as last year's Samsung Galaxy Watch. I'm getting about, like, say, a full day, maybe a little more, but if you're going to do workouts in the day, it'll definitely probably require charging every day. But it's just pretty nice to look at. It has a smart, intuitive user interface. It does lack that rotating bezel that I kind of miss from the Galaxy Watch, but otherwise it's giving me all my notifications, and it's, you know, I can track my sleep, and it does that pretty accurately. It's very comfortable to wear, and it's very small and just compact in general. Like, I wore it to sleep last night, and I had no issues, which is something that usually does bother me on other watches when I go to sleep. It just feels uncomfortable, and I don't want to take it off as soon as I get home. But this one, it's very lightweight and comfortable, and sleep tracking is definitely a plus. I just wish the battery was a little longer, but again, this is something we're still testing, so that's going to have to wait for the final verdict later on as I review it. And then there's the Galaxy Buds, which we've already reviewed. I've been wearing it for the past week or two, and overall, they would just work, I guess, is the perfect way to explain it. Like, they give you good sound, take them out, put them in your ears, it just works perfectly, and I've definitely used it to wirelessly charge by placing it on the back of the phone, and that wirelessly charges the case, and that's pretty great battery life, and it's just something that if you pre-order the S10 phones, you get it with it. So perfect ecosystem of products that I think Samsung has put out this year. Yeah, I know even on your review, you said that normally once you're done reviewing a phone, you'll go back to your Google Pixel 3, but you've stuck with the S10 Plus. Are you still using it as the primary phone? Yeah, well, I mean, technically I'm still reviewing the S10e. Oh, yeah. So at the moment, yes, I'm sticking to these, but I don't think I'm going to go to the Pixel 3, at least for the foreseeable future, I think. But that's obviously going to change as the Pixel 4, I would assume, comes out later this year. But we'll see. It's sort of a game of which phone I'm reviewing at the moment, to be honest. But what is interesting is that I still miss the Pixel 3 camera. So, you know, there's a lot of things here that I like about these phones. I wouldn't say that none of them still offer the best camera that you can get on a phone. I still think that's the Pixel 3. And if I was going to go back to the Pixel 3, that would be my primary motivator. Interesting. Well, Julian, thank you so much for showing us these products. And like you said, you know, your reviews on most of these products are already up at digitaltrends.com. People can go there and take a look at them. And of course, follow you online for all the latest news in anything mobile technology related. Thanks a lot, Julian. Thanks. Awesome. Well, see, there we go. Going live to our New York studio here with Digital Trends Live. So we're live every day, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, bringing you all kinds of interviews and topics. Today, I mean, just alone today, we had Ryan Juanita in here earlier talking about Tesla's changes to changes they already made. And we've got an article at digitaltrends.com. You can take a look at that. Then we went, we had Tom Szaky on talking about Loop and their new way of using recyclable or actually just sustainable packaging. And it's a whole new concept that's really interesting that they're launching. We went to South by Southwest, where we're going to be going every day this week with Pavi Dinamani with different interviews, and that was a really fascinating one, talking to Ocean Hugger Foods, and you can check out their article at digitaltrends.com as well. So read into that a little bit more, and then talking to Julian Chokkattu about our mobile, well, he's our mobile editor, so talking about all those Samsung S10s, and we've got those reviews up tomorrow on the show. We've got Kimberly Bryant, the founder and CEO of Black Girls Code, and that is going to be live at South by Southwest as well, with Pavi interviewing her, so very excited about that. We have Titania Jordan from Bark, and we've got Ronan Glahn, our automotive editor, who's going to be on talking about the Geneva Auto Show and some of the things that he saw from that, all while broadcasting live across these different platforms, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, or wherever you're finding us. These videos always go up afterward as well, so you can check back
back on that and watch back to the beginning of the show if you missed any of that. But join us here every day where we broadcast live, we take your comments, we take your questions. It's so much fun. We really love being here with you every day broadcasting this show. I'm Greg Nibbler, so thanks for watching, and we will see you here tomorrow with more Digital Trends Live.